Take a look at how dusty this fish room is. Well, it might be kind of hard to tell right now, but this fish room is a mess because remember in the last video I painted the floors and it looked really nice, but there was one problem. The paint was already peeling off. And I couldn't have that happen, so I decided to rent one of these grinders, and I grinded down the entire, well, almost the entire floor. Like areas where I'm going to put tanks in the future, I don't really care about because no one's gonna be like walking there, and there's not gonna be any foot traffic. So in the areas where there's not gonna be foot traffic, I didn't even grind it down. I still need to grind that area down, but we're going to repaint it. And I talked about me getting wood floors, and so many of you commented saying wood's not good for a fish room, but I wasn't talking about real wood. I should have been clearer about that. I was talking about like vinyl, those planks that aren't actually wood, like fake wood. It looks like wood, but it's not real wood, and it's water resistant. But I decided just using concrete is better. This flooring, we already have a good solid concrete floor, and why not just stick with what we have. So I'm just going to repaint it, get a better quality paint, something that's stronger, more like an epoxy. It's not exactly an epoxy, the thing I'm getting, but it's stronger. You mix two parts together and it's a stronger product than the paint that we had. And one more thing is, wood floors isn't necessarily bad for a fish room. Of course, if you spill water all over it and have like a flood in here, that's not good for the wood. But what I'm planning to do with this room is to make it into a gallery. We're only going to have a number of show tanks in here. Not that many, but yeah, we'll have like 2 3-foot tanks, 2 3 4-foot tanks, and it's not going to be as many tanks as I had in here before. I don't plan on spilling water on the floor, and I know you never know. Like sometimes I could just forget I'm filling up a tank and I might spill water all over the place. I know it's possible that that happens, but I try not to let that happen. My vision that I had with wood floors is, take a look at this picture right here, the ADA Idea Studio in Poland. That is an incredible, beautiful gallery. Just incredible. That's like kind of what I wanted to go with this place, except make it a dark version, a dark wood. We have the brown pillars, the dark brown pillars, and then the white walls and the white roof. I thought we could do something similar like the ADA Idea Studio in Poland, except have it a darker brown color. Yeah, so that was kind of my vision, but I decided let's just go with the concrete floors, and I'll repaint it, I'll make it stronger, and I'll make it better. And we're also going to pick a different color paint. Let me bring you back to yesterday when I was still grinding up these floors and cleaning up a little bit. Take a look at how messy it was. Man, what have I done to this fish room? This place is a disaster. Take a look at this. So, I've decided to repaint the floor. So in order to do that, I had to grind down all the previous paint. You can see the grinder right there. Rented that from the home center for 300 yen, which is like $3 for 3 days. So yeah, I'm almost done. You can see it's really dusty. So much dust accumulates from grinding paint and concrete. Like, this is just some of the dust that I've piled up here, but I'm not yet done. I think I'm done with the grinding part. It's not like I didn't get to all the edges and stuff, and there's some areas out here, but we're going to be putting tanks there, so you'll never see the concrete there, and I'm going to paint over that as well. So I just wanted to grind down the areas where that there'll be foot traffic, so that we can get the paint adhered onto the concrete better. Over here as well, you can see there's still paint there from the previous paint. That's okay, because we're going to have the 8-foot, no, not 8-foot, what am I saying? The 6-foot stand that's going to sit right there, so it's going to cover up that area, and you won't see this paint. Over here, we'll just paint over it. Like, no one's gonna walk here and like kind of go, no one's gonna do that, so don't have to worry about paint peeling off over there. But yeah, it's not fun, but it's also fun at the same time. So yeah, I don't enjoy this because it's so dusty, you get dirty, and man, it's gonna be really nice to see the end result, and I can't wait for it. And it's also, I'm taking my time with this, like I'm not rushing, because I just want to do it right. As I mentioned in previous videos, I just want to make this fish room a nice hangout area. We'll have a sofa and a nice little coffee table to sit down, and yeah, it'll be a nice spot to relax, and I can't wait for that day to come when this fish room is done. And of course, it's never gonna be 100% done. I'm always gonna twinkle around and play around with some stuff, and try to make changes to this fish room and make it better little by little. But there'll be that time when I feel like it's mostly accomplished and I'll be really happy with it, and that day will come in the near future. So I hope you guys are here until that day comes. And another reason why I decided to paint the floors is because I'm not a huge fan of this color. I picked light gray that time when I painted the floors, and it looks kind of bluish in my opinion, like in the right lighting. Right now we don't have the lights on, so it's hard to tell, but like over there you can see it's kind of like a light bluish color, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So the next color we pick is gonna be just regular gray. Alright, and we are back to today, the present day, and yeah, let's not talk about this room much more. I've got to work on this room later on, but today we've got to do something a little bit more. Oh yeah, and with all this dust, I did cover up the tanks with plastic so that the dust wouldn't get into the tanks, but on the first day of grinding I forgot to do that, and we did get some dust, but you can see the fish are all doing fine. Take a look at them. It looks like they're not doing fine, but they are doing fine. Like, let's look from the side. Yeah. These angelfish are amazing. You can see the rainbow fish are doing great as well. But today we're talking about my immersed plant farm, and I've got so much to do around this house. This backyard is a complete mess, and I'll show you guys the goldfish once I get this backyard sorted out. I am feeding them a little bit now since it's getting colder, so they're not as active, but they do still come up to get some food once in a while. And yeah, this place is an absolute disaster. I'm trying to make something here for a little rice fish collection in the future, but yeah, I'll work on this during the winter. I kind of like doing garden work during the winter months because there's not many plants and not many bugs around, and not many mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are really annoying. But let me walk up this thing. Here's my little syngonium. I think it's a syngonium, I'm not sure. It's an arrowhead plant. But right here is my little immersed plant farm, and I have not been looking after this at all. Like, I just left this here for a couple of months and haven't even watered them, and you can see just from the rainwater it survives. So we've got some plants in here, and they're all mixed up right now, so I don't know what's what in a few of them. Like, those are mostly rotalas, but they're kind of mixed up. Right here is a cool plant. It kind of looks like 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝘀𝘀, but it's actually 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝑜𝑑𝑜RA, an African plant. Pretty cool, and it's immersed. Right here we've got Myriophyllum Guyana dwarf. Cute little plant. And these are the two newest additions, so you can see they haven't grown that much. But then the rest here, I'll give you guys a quick tour. This plant has done amazing. It's Ludwigia super red, and you can see in here I actually had Ludwigia repens green, but the Ludwigia repens green is gone. Like, I don't know where it went. It probably died off. But the Ludwigia super red has just taken over. It's gone into other containers and just taken over. Like here I also had, what's this? Rotala SP Bangladesh, which I don't have anymore. I do have some of that in my aquarium, so I can make another immersed setup of that in the future. Right here, what is this one? Let me get this, sorry guys. Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀. I also don't have any immersed of this, but I do have it in my aquarium, so gonna get some more immersed setups going on here in the future. This looks like Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀. With Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, it's easy to tell because the stem as well as the leaves are green in color. You can see the leaves as well as the stem. It's green in color. This is also Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀. And then over there we have a few different types. But let me show you guys what's in here first. Oh, this looks like 𝗲𝘂𝘾𝗶𝗿𝗲𝘀 green. Okay. So it looks like we still have some of that. What else? I'm not too sure what this one is. It's either Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 or Rotella Vietnam. I can't remember because in this side I put Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀, and in this side I put Rotella Vietnam, and they both look kind of similar in their immersed forms. Yeah, and excuse my thumbnail. I got into a little accident there and I cut my thumb, but yeah, Rotella SP Vietnam. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to submerge these and see what their submerged leaves look like, but I'm guessing it's probably 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 because I remember Vietnam was kind of struggling with the immersed growth, so I'm guessing the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 was stronger and kind of grew into this area, but we'll have to see. Right here as well, I didn't even plant this. Like some of the Rotellas just spread. You can see how they crawl into different containers and they just take over. But this definitely isn't Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 because you can see the stems on these are red in color and the leaves are green. So it might be, I'm not sure, it might be HRA or Ceylon. But here you can see there's more Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀. We've also got Micranthemum Monte Carlo, which is a carpeting plant, really nice. And then in this side, this should be Glossostigma, but you can see the color is kind of bad. And one of the reasons is because it's getting colder. Right now it's November and it's pretty cold. During the nighttime we get down to like 10 degrees Celsius, and yeah, it's kind of cold even for me. Like I don't like the cold. And today we're going to kind of clean this section up because below this, where I'm standing right now, is where my uncle stores his car parts, his Volkswagen Beetle. And yeah, he told me to clean all this up because, I don't know, he's kind of worried about this roof falling down and something like that. He's more worried about this thing producing mosquitoes, which I tell him it doesn't, especially now since there's like no water in here and mosquitoes don't thrive when it's cold. But we'll just clean the space up to make him happy, and I want to kind of redo this section next year. So I'm gonna keep some of these plants that I want to keep, and yeah, we're going to make new setups for them. But where's Rotella? Yeah, this right here. You can see this one here is Rotella 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝑎, which is the red Rotella, and you can see the stem is much redder. The leaves are also a dark green color. Some of them are even red. So yeah, Rotella HRA. Just chuck that there for now. Yeah, and then in this one, I planted some water sprite in the past, as well as 𝗲𝗾𝗾𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀𝘀, which is this stick here. The 𝗲𝗾𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀 grew huge into like a mini tree. But then they both died during the winter last year, and then we've just got a few random grasses in here. It's kind of cool. And one random plant. I wonder what this is. I've got to fix this place up. I know you guys have been excited to see this, but I don't know what's so exciting about it now since it's like a complete mess up here. But we will redo this section. I've also got to make this garden neater so that we can have space to walk around, and the eventual goal is for me to build some sort of a greenhouse where I can grow these immersed plants all year round, because most of these now during the winter season will die off. They'll all go crispy and die, and then most of them will eventually come back, like how they did last year. Because I just left these here last year and they seem to do fine. So they will grow back once it gets warmer in the springtime, but some won't. Like I remember my 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 didn't grow back, as well as some other, the water sprite as well didn't grow back. The 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀 didn't grow back, but the rotala seem to be strong, as well as the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 and the Monte Carlo. So those ones seem to overwinter just okay. I'm not sure about these two since I did these two this year, but I do want to keep them indoors, so I'm gonna pull these out and keep them. But yeah, this is quite sturdy. I really like this. Oh yeah, and another thing is, I've mentioned a little bit in a past video, but that little rack that I built right by the window there is some of my immersed plants, and at the top there's some cryptocorynes. Maybe I'll show you guys if I can reach it. Yeah, I can definitely reach this for you. But like this one here is oh no, I'm not gonna have a place to put this. Here's just a few that I managed to pull down. So this one right here is cryptocoryne bullosa, and maybe in the future I'll talk more about the substrate I'm using and stuff, but the crypt has definitely grown since I set it up, and it's only been a few weeks since then. So yeah, this one here is cryptocoryne pontidifolia. Got some new leaves, which is amazing, in just a couple of weeks. You can see that one leaf died off, but yeah, we got like 3 new leaves, which is pretty incredible in such a short time. Let's take a look at this Ludwigia senegalensis, which is a really cool stem plant, a really cool Ludwigia. And these are just little mini Tupperware containers. Senegalensis. You can see some like algae growing inside, but yeah, not that striking looking. In an aquarium it looks more like this. This tank is kind of filled with algae right now, so it's hard to see, but you can see like that plant. Yeah, this red plant here. It's kind of tough to see. I gotta clean this tank up, but I've just been doing the floors and yeah, can't be bothered with the tanks right now. So that's Ludwigia senegalensis. Let me put that back up here. And you can see just like how dusty everything is right now. It's caked in dust. What's the next one? This one here is another Ludwigia. Kind of a new one. I'm not sure like what exactly this is. It's called Ludwigia crystal. It looks like 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝗀 as well as 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗿𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗃, but it's said to be different. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but you can see the immersed leaves. I've also got some of this in the tank. Let me go back and show you guys. We can see from here. So this one right against the back of the tank. Yeah, definitely looks like 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗃. But once again, yeah, you can see one stem there, as well as one stem right there, right by the light. Yeah, very nice red color plant with narrow leaves, so yeah, that's a cool one. Pretty rare too. I think it's a new one, so not many people have this. And then we've got Rotala rotundifolia reddish, which is it's very similar to Rotala HRA, but kind of different. Wow! Oh no, I thought it was flowering. For a second I thought I saw a flower, but that's just a leaf. But yeah, you can see how well this one is doing. And these are like tiny little containers. Anyone can do this. And for these Rotalas and Ludwigias, I just use regular potting soil. So the stuff you buy at a home center or a garden store, you just put some of that, put some water in. You gotta put quite a bit of water because these are aquatic plants. And they do like lots of water, so. But the reddish is this one right here. You can just see like how red that stem is, and oh my goodness, you can't see because of the algae. I'm so sorry about that. But like that right there, look at how red that is. Incredible. Alright, so that is the last tour of this little immersed plant farm, and we're going to make this place better sooner than later. Yeah, we're gonna revamp it and make this entire little farm that I've got going on much better. I'm not sure when that's gonna happen since the fish room comes first. I want to get that room nice and cleaned up, get the floors all set up, and yeah, once we get that done, then we can work on the garden and my little farm going on here, and it will be so fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, the last tour of this little setup. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to answer them if I can. Oh yeah, also, one more thing with these containers. I've got to change the setup because look, these containers aren't good. They get brittle. And yeah, of course, it's because of the sun, UV rays damaging the plastic, so yeah, I don't like that at all. This one is really good. Seems to be holding up quite well. And I got this at the dollar store for only $1, whereas this one was like $3 at the home center, so we're scrapping these containers, but we're keeping this one. And in the future, I also plan to do, as I mentioned, like a greenhouse, so it'll definitely last longer sitting in a greenhouse rather than out in the direct sun. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this chill style video of me just talking and just showing you guys what I have going around here, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment something down below, and if you want to support this channel even more, you can consider becoming a member. And I'll see you guys next time. Take a look at this. This one. This is cool.